The Whispering House. In the quaint village of Eldridge Hollow, there stood an ancient house known to locals as the Whispering House. It was an imposing structure, its dark silhouette casting an eerie shadow over the cobblestone street. Stories circulated about the house, tales of strange noises and ghostly apparitions. Yet, one night, curiosity overcame fear when young Sarah dared to explore it. Sarah, a brave but reckless teenager, had always been fascinated by the macabre. She entered the creaking front door, a flashlight her only guide. The house, abandoned for decades, held a musty scent and an oppressive atmosphere. As she ventured deeper, the silence was broken by a faint, indecipherable whisper. Startled, Sarah paused, trying to locate the source. She convinced herself it was just the wind. In the living room, adorned with dusty portraits and worn-out furniture, the whispers grew louder. Sarah's heart raced as she felt unseen eyes upon her. She shone her flashlight on a grand old piano in the corner. To her horror, the keys began to play by themselves, producing a haunting melody that seemed to echo through the walls. Terrified but unable to resist, Sarah followed the music to the staircase. The whispers turned into murmurs, urging her to ascend. Each step creaked under her weight, as if groaning in protest. At the top, she found a long, narrow hallway lined with closed doors. The air grew colder, and the whispering voices clearer, now chanting a name repeatedly, Eleanor. Drawn by an unseen force, Sarah approached a door at the end of the hall. Inside, she discovered a bedroom preserved in time, with a large canopy bed and a vanity mirror covered in dust. On the mirror, written in the dust, was the name Eleanor. She turned, and in the reflection, saw a young woman sitting on the bed, her eyes hollow, her expression mournful. Shaking, Sarah approached the apparition. "Eleanor," she whispered. The ghostly figure stared back, her lips moving silently as if trying to communicate. The room grew colder, and the whispers turned into anguished cries. The air filled with the tormented souls of the past, each sharing their tragic. Overwhelmed by fear, Sarah ran from the room, down the hallway, and back to the staircase. The cries followed her, echoing off the walls. As she reached the bottom, she glanced back. The apparitions of the past residents stood at the top of the stairs, their eyes pleading for release. Sarah burst out of the house, gasping for air. The door slammed shut behind her with a thunderous bang. Panting, she looked back at the whispering house. In the upper window, she saw Eleanor's sad face watching her, a silent thank you in her eyes. The next day, Sarah couldn't explain what she experienced. The townsfolk dismissed her story as a wild imagination, but Sarah knew the truth. She had heard the sorrow of the Whispering House, a place forever echoing with the voices of the past. The experience changed her, instilling a newfound respect for the unknown and unseen. For she knew that in the shadows of Eldridge Hollow, the Whispering House still held its secrets, waiting for the next curious soul to enter.